All right, let's get right into it. I've got a story for you today that is, well, it's pretty bizarre, but it's also 100% true. And it all kicks off with just one single, really weird text message. This is a story about the assumptions we make, a little bit about empathy, and how the strange parts of the internet can sometimes just pop into our real lives.
So I want you to imagine something for me. Picture this. You're just chilling at home. It's a Tuesday evening, whatever. Your phone goes off. You look down and it's a text from a number you've never seen before. Now, what would you do? Because what happened to this guy, Jeff, is probably not what you're expecting.
Okay, section 1, an unexpected offer. And believe me when I say unexpected, I really mean it. This whole thing kicked off with a message from a total stranger. And let's just say it was a very specific business proposal. Yeah, you're seeing that right. Hi, are you still interested in selling pictures of the bottom of your feet? I mean, wow. So, as you can probably guess, Jeff's first thought was, what on earth is this? It was this mix of just total confusion and honestly being a little grossed out. But here's the thing. Instead of just blocking the number, which is what most of us would do, right? He did something else. And that's where the story really starts to get good. So yeah, instead of just hitting block and report, something else kicked in for Jeff. Curiosity. I mean, you've got to admit, you'd be a little curious too, wouldn't you? He had to know. Who is sending this and why this incredibly specific request for older male feet? So, against his better judgment, maybe, he decided to reply.
All right, so here we go into the conversation itself. Jeff starts typing out a reply. And let's be super clear. He is not interested in this offer at all. He just wants to understand the why behind this whole thing. So he asks, what are, the two most obvious questions? The questions I'm sure are popping into your head right now. First, why are you interested in this? And second, how would this even work? Like, how do you get paid? But the answer he gets back is, well, it's interesting. It's both super direct and completely avoids the main question. So look at this reply, just the bottom of your feet. He completely ignores the why question, just blows right past it. And then bam, he's all business. I do Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. It's like he's selling a used bike on Craigslist or something. There's this weirdly professional vibe to it all that honestly just makes the whole situation even stranger. And look at these payment methods. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. These are the apps we all use every day to pay our friends for pizza, right? It takes this really bizarre request and kind of grounds it in our normal everyday world. And then there's that little detail about not being able to use Chime because of a banking situation. It's just another little piece of ordinary life dropped into this totally surreal conversation. So Jeff has pretty much made it clear he's not the guy they're looking for. But the messages keep coming. This person is persistent, like really persistent. It's not just a casual question anymore. It starts to feel a lot more like a weird, single-minded mission to get these pictures. The whole vibe is starting to shift from just weird to kind of creepy. Okay, so now we get to the turning point. At this stage, Jeff's curiosity is completely gone. Poof. It's been replaced with straight-up annoyance. I think we can all relate to that, right? He's just had enough of these weird texts, and he decides, okay, that's it. I'm ending this right now. So he's about to send one last message. And this time, he's not asking questions. He's not trying to be polite. He just wants to make it absolutely 100% clear that this conversation is over. No room for misunderstanding. And there it is, all caps. Please stop texting me. The internet equivalent of shouting. He hit send, thinking, okay, finally, that should do it. But he was wrong. There's a little bit of silence, and then one more text comes through. And this final text completely flips the entire story on its head. And boom, there's the twist. I'm sorry if I bothered you. I just recently had paid my phone bill from 4 months ago. And just like that, everything changes. This isn't some random, creepy person harassing him. The whole context just shifts in an instant. This person thinks they're just following up with a client. They think they already have a deal with him and they've just gotten their phone service back on. So with that one message, the whole picture just completely changes for Jeff. All that annoyance, all that judgment he was feeling, it just evaporates and it's replaced by something totally different. This really spells it out, doesn't it? The story Jeff had in his head was about a creepy stranger, maybe some kind of weirdo. But the reality was so much more normal. It wasn't an obsessive pervert. It was just a customer following up. The whole thing wasn't some bizarre interaction. It was just a simple, boring misunderstanding. A wrong number. So what does Jeff do? His whole tone changes. He actually apologizes for being rude. I hope you can find what you're looking for. The anger is gone, and instead, you see this moment of real empathy. It's kind of a beautiful little moment, right? All because of one simple clarification. And that's where the conversation ended. But it really stuck with Jeff. It was this really powerful little reminder that the world is a strange place. There are these entire little worlds, these niche economies and interactions happening all around us that we have absolutely no idea about. He just got this tiny peek behind the curtain into one of them. So, this whole weird story leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? In a world where we're all texting and messaging and only seeing one side of the conversation, how often do we get the story totally wrong? It's just a perfect example of how quickly we can build up a whole narrative about someone based on just a few lines of text. Makes you think, right?